So I recently got this toothpick doll in a box of stuff from my grandpa. This is something I used to make with my grandma when I was little, and I had completely forgotten about these until I saw this, and it was like, oh my gosh, I remember making these. So then I determined I had to pick up a few things like beads and some more colored thread and some glue so that Aspen and I could make them. These are the ones we've finished so far. She's working on a dude. She's trying to put pants on him over here. So these are really fun little crafty things to do with the kids with whatever supplies you have on hand. So I'm just going to show you how we do this. So the first thing you are going to do is cut your Q-tips down to the correct size. You can see I have all the measurements right up there on the screen for you, which makes it really easy. The thread that I use for this is just my regular sewing thread that I have here. You could use a thicker thread, which would go faster when you get to that point, but I like just using what we have on hand instead of buying special stuff. And while the little thread will take a lot of wrapping, you're going to be able to make a lot more dolls out of it because there is a lot of thread on a spool, and you can get packs like that one you can see in the corner off Amazon. I have like 45 different colors, which is really fun. The head is probably the easiest part to stick on. You just want that flush with the top. And then for the legs, where your legs end on the body is where your shoulders will be. So don't go so far up that you have a short neck or too far down to where you have a long neck. Once the legs are kind of set, you are going to go ahead and start wrapping the thread on there. You do want the glue to still be a little bit tacky, so if it's not, go ahead and add some fresh glue. But then you are just going to run your dress or pant color as far down on the legs as you want it to go. Next up is the arms, and again, you just want a little bit of glue to make the thread stick to it. And then you're going to wrap just as far down the arms as you would like your top to go. Pretty easy, really. Covering the tops of the shoulders can be a little bit of pain and take some time, so just try to stay calm with this. The easiest thing I've discovered is to go up the neck a little bit. You can also experiment with running the thread through, like up and under the armpits a couple times on each side, because that does seem to help cover the top. So for the hair, you're going to take whatever color of thread you want and make a really, really long string, and then just double it, cut that, and keep folding it back in on itself and cutting it again and again until you get to the hair length that you want. And you're going to then take your glue and kind of spread it all over the back of the head and along the sides, wherever you want the hair to lay. This is where you're going to want to spread your glue. And then I take the hair and I kind of lay it down as nicely as I can. It's a little bit tricky. If you wanted to be really anal about it, you could probably do just a couple at a time, but I am not that picky. And then for the back, I always just kind of pinch it together to cover that little gap, sometimes adding another drop of glue there if needed. For adding buttons or bows or anything, you just get as fancy as you want with that. I, again, am not very fancy, so I just rolled up little balls of thread and boom, there you go. We have some buttons for her dress. It's all very, very easy. You can see Aspen picking glue off the cardboard. And then my dolls almost never end up having even arms and legs, so I tend to fix those towards the end, but there you go. We have a finished doll. The kids wanted me to make family dolls, so here we have Dan and me. For Dan, you can see I made a beard. For me, I did a braid, which the hair is still drying. And I also added more Q-tips along the sides of the legs, so you can kind of see one sticking out there to make... Okay, Aspen says they're not Q-tips, they're toothpicks. She's correct. More toothpicks on the side to make the dress a little fuller through the hips. But how cute and how fun. I need to make the kids now, right?
Yeah.